Hi, a good Erev Shabbos to everybody. I wanted to share with you one idea on our Parsha, Parshas Vayishlach. In our Parsha, the matriarch Rachel, Rachel Imenu, passes away. And Rachel Imenu is the only matriarch that is not buried in Hebron, in the Marat Machpelah, in the plot which was purchased by Abraham generations prior. And the reason why she is not in the same burial plot with everybody, with all the other matriarchs and patriarchs, is because of a very big mistake that she had made a few years prior to her passing. And Chazal, the sages, tell us that the reason why she was not able to be buried there was because she belittled her relationship with her husband on a particular occasion. Reuven, Leah's oldest child, was brought home some flowers known as dudayim, and it had a particular fragrance. And Rachel Imenu was taken with that fragrance, with the smell, and she exchanged her rights, her opportunity to be with Yaakov during that particular time for these dudayim. And when one thinks of smells and fragrances, we have to realize that just like everything else in this world, they serve as opportunities to reflect on who created these flowers, these fragrances, and to become closer and more aware of the creator of the world. And so it is when it comes to smelling certain fragrances. They require a blessing. Just like one would say a blessing prior to consumption of food, at times somebody should say a blessing prior to smelling a particularly nice smell. And the following rules pertain to smelling fragrances. So a blessing should be said prior to smelling the besamim during Havdalah. So we say Baruch Atah Hashem Elokeinu Melech Haolam Borei Midei Besamim, and that's what we say Motzei Shabbat. And we say that, we're going to say that tomorrow night, as we do every Saturday night. And just like we say a blessing prior to smelling the besamim, those fragrances, when it comes to any similar situation, we should say a blessing. It's not just for a Saturday night, not just for a Havdalah service. Let's say you were to walk into a kitchen, and it smells wonderful. It smells like Shabbos is coming. It smells like cholent, and it smells like all sorts of good dishes that are being prepared. So because the primary purpose of the food is not to smell good, but rather to give sustenance and for the sake of eating, so therefore no blessing is said prior to walking into a kitchen that has wonderful food. However, if one is in a flower shop, one doesn't have to say a blessing on every flower that has a fragrance. If a person's walking by, then no blessing needs to be said. But if a person gathers up flowers in his hands to be smelled, and the purpose of his taking these flowers to his face is not to look at them, but rather to smell them, so then in that case, the blessing should be said there as well. And most authorities maintain that when it comes to perfume, or when it comes to cologne, so because it comes from chemicals, and because it's not from nature, so then therefore no blessing is said. But the bottom line is that just like we get benefit out of eating in this world and from food, so too we should say a blessing prior to a nice and pleasant smell. Thank you, and have a wonderful Shabbos.